guys, Roxy Sims here, and I have another speed build for you today. Today I am doing a Californian family home. So it's a typical like ranch style home that you would find in California. At least what I have seen of California. I gotta say I have never been. But the thing is though, is I do watch lots of HGTV. I love that. That's like I honest to God want to be an interior designer. So I'm always watching HGTV. If I get the opportunity to watch TV, that's what I'm watching. So a lot of HGTV shows are all based in California. It's like I don't know, maybe they're based in California. I'm not sure, but tons of California homes all over that channel. And so basically that's exactly what this house is based on and influenced by. And I just took everything that I know about California homes on that show and tried to put it into this build. Sorry, I said that show, I meant that channel, that entire channel, tons of California homes. But also, this is specifically inspired by the show House Hunters. You know, surely you've heard of it. It's kind of huge. And they always, a lot of the time, it's in California. And there's also this show called House Hunters Renovation. And they'll take, you know, these older ranch-style homes, renovate all of it. And that is total. I was like channeling those renovations and putting them in this build. And I wanted to take, you know, it's a California home, so it's going to have a pool in the backyard. And it has a palm tree out front. And I really just wanted to channel like a Southern California kind of feeling to this. And I'm telling you, in that show, House Hunters Renovation, so many times, the kind of style that they go for when they're renovating their home is like a modern farmhouse. I've seen that style be used in so many of the renovations that I figured, well, that's just how I have to, you know, build this house. That's the style that I need to go for. So that is exactly the style that I'm going for here. And so it's a very modern, it's not like uber modern or anything, but it is like a more modernized kind of farmhouse vibe. So lots of light, bright colors, and it's really light and airy in this build. And, you know, and I wanted this house to feel like it was like a ranch from the 60s or something. And then they've renovated it recently and went with this cool modern farmhouse vibe. So the colors are, there's a lot of whites, some creams, there's some like a stormy blue color, and then, you know, some grays, and then some modern light fixtures. These are just the kind of things that I have seen personally when someone is going for a modern farmhouse kind of look in their house. So I tried to emulate that as well as I possibly could. There are definitely some wood elements as well. I've seen so many people with that rustic wood in their house when they're going for this kind of a look. So definitely wanted some of that in there. And so something that's a little different for me, because I normally never use custom content, but I recently discovered the absolutely awesome custom content stuff pack. It's Pufferhead stuff pack, which is definitely inspired by like a Harry Potter type of character that's in The Sims, called Henry Puffer. And I talked about this in my last video, and I fell in love with this custom content stuff pack so much. The creator is, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but it's MLYS, and I'll link that below as well. But, like I said, normally I never use custom content, but I fell in love, and I love it so much. And so I put, this is a house that I made for like a family, but like a couple and then two daughters. One of the daughters totally a fan of Henry Puffer. So their room is like decked out in all of that stuff that came in that stuff pack. And but the good thing is like it's only in that bedroom, and so that's the only custom content. The rest is just normal stuff found in game. But the thing is I like to, whenever it's easily done, I like to also upload a non-CC version onto the gallery so that you can have your pick. You can either choose the one that has all the Henry Puffer stuff in it, or you could just choose the one that I'll upload that I'll just change the decorations around in there so that there is no CC. So it's up to you. If you want to download this, you can do the CC version or the non-CC version. I always try to upload both. Anyways, I was looking at this house once I finished it, and I realized this house would also work really well if you were going for a Florida vibe. Like, I could totally see this house in Florida as well. Because there's lots of, like, 60s ranches in Florida. At least from the places that I've been in Florida. I haven't been everywhere, but tons of 60s ranches. And with the whole, the glass roof over this patio area, that just seems so Florida to me. And the pool and the palm tree, I think it could totally work as a Florida house as well. I went for California just because we have Del Sol Valley, which is obviously supposed to be LA. So that's why I went with California, but like I said, it could work for either one. Oh, and I wanted to talk about what I did by the pool with the pool toys. So I just took like dog toys, like there's a dog bed, 2 dog beds, and then a ball that you would use for dog, and then I just sized it up. Surely I am not the first person to do this, but because I was trying to think like, oh, this is a family, they would definitely have pool toys out there, but we don't really have that stuff. So I thought, hey, dog toys would work. So like I said, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever done that before, but I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, yay. I was very excited about it, that it looked all right. I was happy with that. It's probably one of those things that I'm going to end up doing that with every single pool that I ever build from now on, so be prepared. I also wanted to talk about the fireplace in this home. So, as I've been doing in the past, like, quite a few builds, I'm kind of making my own fireplace by building a 2x1 box, like right here, and I put the window, and then I put that single mantle just over it. And so I'm making my own little fireplace, and then I end up putting a fire pit in there. And yeah, I'm just making my own fireplace, and I can't stop myself from doing it. Like every build, I almost always do this now. After I like figured out to do it, then now I can't stop myself. And I think the reason why is because I'm just so unhappy with our fireplace options. Like, when are we going to get some better fireplaces? I have been saying this for years, but I need a rustic stone fireplace. Oh, I'm like trying to scream it out in the universe so that hopefully one day I'll actually get it. And because it really upset me that we didn't get a rustic stone fireplace with the outdoor retreat pack. It would have been the perfect pack for a really rustic stone one. And we just don't have one. So I'm hoping that very, very soon we get new fireplaces and new counters and countertops. Like, I would love if we had some cabinets that had light colors, like whites and maybe an olive green, kind of light, like sage green, and then maybe some light blues, stuff like that, and then with like a butcher block countertop, like really like a farmhouse really country, homey vibe. I would love some cabinets like that. So I am crossing my fingers, and I'm hoping that just eventually we will be able to get that. I probably want those kinds of cabinets because that's actually what I have in my own kitchen. So I might be a little biased, but I think they're kind of the best. So I have like two-tone cabinets. So my upper cabinets are all like a creamy white, and then my lower cabinets are like a sage, grayish green, like a really light color, and then I have like a butcher block countertop. And yeah, so I want those kinds so I can build my own house. There's lots of things that have been preventing me from building my own house. One was because I live like on a hill, and then in the back of my house, it's a walkout basement. And so I always avoided building it before because we didn't have terrain tools. So now that we have terrain tools, I can't use that excuse anymore. I need to do it. But then, like we have nothing that would work great for my cabinets, and then there's just certain things. Definitely like some furniture items that I'd have to figure out. But I think once I actually like build my own house, I think I'll have to go like looking for CC. Just so I can, because when I build it, I want to make it like as close and as perfect, like a perfect replica as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna go on a CC spree, which is totally not like me. But if I'm making an actual build, like trying to replicate it perfectly, then I need to find that stuff that will really show what it looks like. I'll do that eventually, but I know that it's going to take forever looking for all of that custom content. Okay, so since this is a longer voiceover, I was thinking that I could tell you guys about this thing that I've recently got into. So normally I'm a huge fan of music. So any chance I get, like if I'm driving the car, or if I'm cleaning, or just doing something like that, I always listen to music. But I've never really given podcasts a try. I've always wanted to, and I've been meaning to, but I had none of them like really stuck out to me. So I just really haven't tried it before. I really never listened to podcasts. And by the way, see, if you saw that what I did on the hood of that stove, you know how a lot of people have those like cool rustic wooden hoods for their stoves? Yeah, that's what I was going for by putting that table up there. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Never tried podcasts before, and but lately on Sims Twitter, in the Sims Twitter community, I've been seeing some people ask for like suggestions on what podcast to listen to. And one of my, really guilty pleasures, like I don't know even why I subject myself to this, but one of my guilty pleasures is watching like investigation discovery, watching like true crime TV shows. And I think my husband thinks I'm a total weirdo because he'll come home and I'm watching shows about murder and stuff. It's I think it is like this. I have this fear. Like my biggest fear in life is having my house broken into, and that is so scary. Or like getting abducted or something. And so I think by watching this stuff that I feel like I'm like doing research like on how to protect myself or something. I don't know. It's probably something like that. But anyways, so I've got this, that's my guilty pleasure. I watch those every once in a while. And I've been reading suggestions of good podcasts lately. And then one of the suggestions was this podcast. It's called My Favorite Murder. And I've never, Like I said, I've never listened to podcasts, never gave this a try, but like I've seen multiple people suggesting it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll go ahead and give that a listen to and see what it's all about, because, it's a topic that I'm kind of interested in. I'm also just super interested in the, like, psychology of someone who does something like that. It's extremely interesting. Like, I've always been interested in just what the mindset of those people are like. But anyways, so I've started listening to it. Wow. If you like podcasts, if you like true crime stuff, I highly suggest this one. It is really, really good. If that's not your thing, dude, I totally understand. I know, just some people are just totally not into that. And I get it. I don't know why I am. I can't explain it. It's weird, I know. But very, very good podcast. Very, very talented. I am digging it. If you have any good suggestions for like a true crime podcast, let me know, because I'm addicted. I am truly addicted right now. I'm listening to it on every car ride. I'm listening to it at any moment that I can. I was listening to it right before I started this voiceover. So yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I can see it overtaking my life. So yes, any suggestions, let me know. I honestly don't know why it has taken me so long to get into podcast. That's crazy. I mean, it's really crazy, because I used to listen to back when just regular radio was a thing. I mean, I know it's still a thing, but back when, before music apps, music streaming apps, and I used to listen to radio talk shows, and I loved them. So why did it take me this long? I'm no clue. I've been fighting it forever for some weird reason, but I'm glad that I'm finally into it after way too many years of not. But see, we're here now with the pufferhead bedroom, and I said this in my last video, but guys, this is for real, like, my favorite bedroom that I've ever done because of this pack. I love this pack, and it's just so cute, and it's like dark and cozy, and I love all the clutter in it, because I think most like kids that age, which I'm thinking she's kind of like a preteen. That's the age I'm thinking for her. But I think kids that age definitely have clutter all over their bedrooms. So I love the clutter in it. I just think it feels realistic, and I feel like she's like almost a teenager. Like she's on the verge of teenagehood. And and I also wanted to tell you kind of like just the little bit of story that I have for this family that I had in mind when I was building this. So I don't have a family made. Most of the time I don't, because I build so much that I don't take the time to actually make the people for it. But what I was thinking is that I didn't have a job in mind for dad, but I think mom could be like a freelance artist. I thought that would be really cool. And because I'm all obsessed with the freelance careers right now, I love them. And so I've made a freelance writer apartment. My last build was that. And here's a freelance artist house. So in the laundry room, like, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. So there isn't enough room for like a separate office. But I figure like the mom is like just starting out with her dream job, just starting out being a freelance artist. And she's it's like a laundry room, craft room. Because I've seen that done a lot, where it's like a good sized laundry room. So they also put all their artsy stuff in there. So that's what I have it set up like. It's in the laundry room, which is next to the garage. But yeah, so laundry room, it's like a desk in there. There's an art easel. So very artistic mom. But yes, so 2 daughters, one the pufferhead, and then this daughter's room right here, I just wanted to go like animal lover. Like I put a violin in there because I just imagine this girl being like a really good musician. I don't know why, but I just like this girl is like a little prodigy or something with a violin is what I'm going for. And just likes music in general. So I put like some pop star posters up in there. And that's just the kind of vibe that I was going for this one. I didn't think of a job for the dad though. Like I said, I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's kind of hard sometimes to like decide what I want the dad to do for work. Sometimes I totally have it completely picked out from the beginning, but this time it was really I just wanted to make a freelance artist kind of house, and then also the pufferhead. That's really the two things that I wanted to specifically use in this build. So I didn't have a job picked out for the dad, but figured he was like a super good, really involved dad. And I imagine like I put a basketball hoop out in front of the garage, and I feel like he'd be totally like a dad to be out there playing basketball with his 2 daughters and, you know, instilling a love of sports into them. And I feel like this daughter that I'm doing the room for right now, is like a huge, like big into sports too. So I feel like she's like a student athlete and really good at the violin and just like, you know, really talented. And then the pufferhead girl, I feel like she's like super artistic and like a really good writer and like wants to be, you know, a writer and is super influenced by, you know, the Henry Puffer books. So yeah, that's my story for them. I really like making up a story, even if I'm not going to be actually making the Sims that I'm making the house for. I still really like making up the story for them because it helps me kind of like decide how they would actually decorate their house. And especially for bedrooms, you know, because bedrooms are so personalized, especially like kids' bedrooms. They're so personalized to the actual person that I have to like make the story up in my head just so I can get a really good idea of how I want the house to look and to feel. So guys, if you have gotten this far in the video and you have also watched the show House Hunters Renovation, I want you to tell me if you think I got it right. Because I was like so going for that kind of a vibe. So I really want to know how you think I did. If you think I like captured that. It's like such a typical look on that show. And so yeah, that I want to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments, pretty please. Oh, and I'm loving these tires and in like the stain on the ground of the garage. I'm loving this kind of stuff, this rundown. I say it in like all kinds of videos. I love the rundown look. It's so good. And so I'm loving those tires. I'm loving those rusted vehicles that we recently got in that update. Yeah, that is really neat. And I put those yoga mats out there by the pool because, hey, they kind of look like towels, but also these are like California people. They're definitely going to be doing yoga, right? It's so California. Whenever I was building this, have you ever watched the episode of, well, not the episode, but like the multiple episodes of SNL where they do the Californians? Love that skit. I love that skit. My husband is from California, and he's like, yes, I can totally testify that is real. I love that skit so much. He's like, what are you doing here? Oh my gosh, I laugh about it every time. So I was building this, and I was just literally like talking to myself while I was just building, just on the computer. What are you doing here? You know, just mumbling Californian quotes to myself. My husband worries about me sometimes, which is good. I'm glad someone does. Oh, and guys, I've recently seen a lot of people put those blinds up as shutters on the windows. I don't know who specifically started that, but kudos to them because I love that idea. And I've just seen it a lot recently, so I couldn't pinpoint like who started it, but yes, I'm a big fan. I love that. Well, guys, we are pretty much done with this one. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope to talk to you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.